And I can already hear some of the listeners saying, hey, is that legal? Like, why are you recording the calls? Because I've heard that. And, like, this is one of the places in my business where I'm a little bit of a pirate. I guess, like, for me, sometimes it's okay to be a pirate. So in this specific situation, knowing that I'll never share those calls with anyone, knowing it's just for me, for my own improvement, like, yes, I allow myself to record the calls, and know, like, people don't always know that I record the calls. But it's perfectly okay as well to, when you start a call, to just ask a person if they're okay with it, and so that you can send them the call. But that being said, really important for me to record the calls, because it's like, I did over 5,000 sales calls in my life, and it's really easy to I would say the first 4,000 calls, like, I've never really improved. I've always done the same mistakes, right? And it sucks when you go through like 20 years of your life and you always make the same mistakes. So at one point I was like, hey, like, I think, like, it was maybe 10 years ago, I'm like, I need to get better at this. And the best way to do this is basically to record it and listen to it. And it's very, like, you're going to be cringing quite a bit, and it's uncomfortable when you start doing it, but it's the fastest, simplest way to basically um, figure out what doesn't work, fix it, so that, because when you have a call with a potential client, you're almost there. Like, like, you're one yes away from basically having, like, securing that client, securing that money, having that impact, having that freedom. And when you start your business, like, sometimes you work so hard to generate these sales calls that you don't want to always make the same mistakes. So that's why, for me, like, it was just a responsible thing to do. I wouldn't listen to all my sales calls, but I would force myself to listen to, like, a couple at least a week, just to see how I was showing up. And then I was like, yeah, like, no, I would not have bought for myself either. So, right, because when you're in the thick of it, you don't hear your performance, but when you listen back, then you can very easily see what needs to be improved. And from there, I'm like, okay, when I'm pitching my offer, it's kind of weird and awkward. So I would just rebuild that, go in front of the mirror, or go see my wife and be like, okay, like, I need to practice this a few times tonight. And I would just practice that part. And so that, instead of making the same mistakes for months on end, well, you fix it, and then you can move forward and get your points.